Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Reversal GG for another episode of the EX Roundup. We took a break, last week because obviously we're all flying back from EVO. Tyrant was still in America. We're still moving around, but we're back to talk some fighting games. Tyrant, the one from here.
What's up?
What's up?
Whoa!
This one.
Hey, this is racist. What's going on? Get it off. Get this fixed now. I'm not standing for it. Thank you. What's going on, guys? Yeah, we're back.
I can prove I'm not Tyrant. Hang on, wait a minute.
Yeah, look at the flowing locks, bro. Come on. Yeah, we are back.
Also, I
from
can't
the
grow a
US.
beard. That's how you know I'm not.
You can try.
I have and failed many times.
But yeah, we're back, man. What's going on, everybody? Like, you guys came back a little earlier, straight after Evo. Of course, I went and hung out with the Smash kids and babysat for a while. But it was cool, man. Like, it was a different experience. But yeah, we're back, man. Back on the roundup. All three of us finally reunite here. So let's do it.
We out there, Logan. How has the return been? You still dead? Still
Painful.
living the?
Yeah, my sleep pattern hasn't corrected, and it's been a long while. Like, when did we get back? It's been a week. Yeah, it's been a week now.
It's been a week.
So
So would we?
it should have corrected, but it has not. And
Yes.
it's painful.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm
bit
getting.
rough.
I don't know if it's because I'm getting old or if it's just because I haven't travelled to the West Coast in like 2 years. But yeah, it was. It's not nice. Tyrant's just experiencing it now because he just got back yesterday. So
Yeah, at least he got back in time, right? Because he went first to the East Coast and then to the UK.
yeah, gradually, I guess. Yeah,
Gradually, I guess, might be a bit better.
Made my way back slowly.
Yeah, slowly, like adapting, which is quite good. But we have a lot to talk about today, of course, guys. We're going to talk very quickly about Renegade, aka our weekly, that currently runs on DNF Duel and soon on other games. Dot. And then plenty of topics as TPK will join us afterwards to talk about EVO Smash Con versus fighting that's coming up, and the big topics of the day: cash prize in fighting games, and of course character bans. Because yes, there's a lot to talk about. But let's quickly round up Renegade. Of course, our DNF Duel weekly is back after the little break of the EVO week, and it was EU this week. And I mean, at everyone's biggest surprise, the person who still has not lost a tournament in Europe still has not lost a tournament in Europe, because that was the bracket. Mystic was the champion. We had 4 challengers: Acknowledger, Jamie, TTM, Mick, and Zeno. And it is Mick and the Dragon Knight who went all the way to finals to challenge Mystic, but failed just like pretty much everyone in Europe at the moment. Can anyone beat Mystic in Europe? Because he was 4th at EVO, right? He did not win the EVO side event. So he still has ways to go.
Who
but
beat
in Europe,
Mystic
it
at
seems like
EVO?
so good.
I don't actually know. I didn't really keep up with DNF Duel, to be honest.
Let's pull it up. Pull it up, Jamie. Start.
Let's have a look.
We're on Vortex Gallery, right?
It was
Yeah, we're in
Vortex
Vortex
Gallery.
Gallery, yeah.
Yeah.
But Mick played really, really well. Like, a lot of people, I think, expected Acknowledger to go all the way and face Mystic again in a rematch. Especially as Ackno actually defeated Mick in the Salty EU tournament.
Yeah.
That's how both these guys were invited, because we have to invite Ackno because they won the event. I also thought I'd give a reach out to Mick because we've had Ackno on the show before, and I was really, really impressed by their Dragon Knight play. So yeah. Plus, as a character we haven't had yet on the show, so I think Dragon Knight's really exciting to watch.
So he lost to the winner,
Masoma and Scort Vermilion. So
Oh, okay.
Wasn't Masoma in grand finals of Grand Blue as well?
Masoma won, I think.
Won Grand Blue?
Yeah.
Or grand finals, yeah.
Was it Gamera that won? I can't remember.
I think I've seen
I should know
Masoma in
that.
either Melty Blood or Grand Blue. Melty, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes,
Kram. Multi-talent individuals, but at the moment it's Mystic remaining champion. Let's see how long the streak can last for the UK guy, because of course he'll be around.
Masoma won
more.
4 different events, by the way.
Was it Melty Blood as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it wasn't Under the Stairs. It was...
Under Stairs in Birth.
If you didn't know, by the way, guys, versus fighting is actually where that meme came from. Because the Under Night tournament was legit underneath the stairs. Yeah, it was like
it was legit there, like right there.
Yep.
The tournament was right here.
It's because I am a comedy genius.
Logan said in his peak comedy is that the Understairs in Birth tournaments, and it never left. I will never call this game Under Night in Birth again.
That's where it came from.
But before talking
Bring it
about
back.
versus fighting, we'll talk about EVO, and we are welcoming today's guest, another
I know it's
multi-fighting
Jing that won
game.
their things. Sorry.
Master SG's Mr. TPK
Oh, other way.
joining the other way. What's up, TPK? How
Easy
is
for me,
life?
it's there. Look. Woo.
Because I have things to do here in Paris, and I'll get back to holidays in Haute-Savoie, which is the mountain area here in France. So, cannot wait.
Yeah, I can
Nice.
see because you're not tan at all, so you did not go to the beach.
Training in the mountains with Ryu, yeah?
Exactly, on the waterfall.
Came back stronger. So let's talk about EVO. The three of us were there. TPK was actually on the official French stream through MGG TV. And yeah, I think it was a big one. I would like to know you guys in the chat what was the best moment of EVO. But yeah, TPK, how was EVO on the French side?
That was awesome. That was the first time ever that we got the official restream here in France, and
Oh,
we were able to actually witness the passion of the French community overall. That was straight up awesome. We had like a lot of different talents, French talents, obviously, commentators, content creators, players, and also CEOs. None other than the CEO of BMS, the team, like Wawa's team, actually. So that was great. That was 3 days of just intense work and intense commentating all the way. That's actually not the first time I do that, because usually we commentate EVO, but like with what we have, right? We don't have the rights, so we're just doing watch parties like every year. And now that was kind of cool to have the what's going on. We could actually restream for real, and that was great. That was a hell of an event, and we had a blast basically.
I mean, it was an entire blast all weekend. And obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, the French side is obviously happy as the one title happened. France did all right, actually, because in terms of top 8, right? France got, well, obviously, Dragon Ball, aka three players in
Obviously.
top 4. Super Akuma, 5th on Tekken, and
Yep.
Mr. Crimson, 7th on Street
Yep.
Fighter. And I'm trying to think
Exactly.
if France ever had 3 top 8s in main games at EVO before, because I don't think it happened.
I believe I'm thinking of 2019 with Soul Calibur 6, Smash Ultimate, and maybe one other game, maybe Luffy. But I don't think he got top 8 in 2019.
He did not, no.
Yeah. So might be the first time ever.
I think it's the first time that like multiple main games are there, but it was not, of course, all about France. There were plenty of sick moments. We ran like events with the Salty Sweets, which were like a ton of fun and highlights. Sweets are back. What's your like after EVO thoughts, Logan? Best moments? What did you enjoy that EVO?
Yeah, man. No, it was great. It was great. The scale of EVO cannot be replicated, really. You have to be there to really experience it. And I think, watching that Street Fighter 5 top 8 unfold in the Mandalay Bay Arena was just, it was sensational. Like, seeing IDOM showcase his skills against some of the greatest players of Street Fighter of all time, not just, of current, like of all time, was very, very, very impressive. And obviously for the Americans, it was probably heartbreaking that he wasn't able to take it. But just as a spectator that enjoyed it, it was incredible. I think for me, it's just the scale of EVO, yet they still managed to retain the good community vibes. Like it's just 3 solid days plus more, of course, of just bumping into people that you're happy to see, and I think like it's just a wave of good vibes and excitement, and it's if you've never been to EVO, you're really missing out on it. So I'm so glad that it's back.
It was a ton of fun, man. That's the point, Tyrant, right? Bumping into people, that's always the highlight to me.
Yeah, for me, like that was sick as well. Just seeing people you haven't seen in a long time. But at the same time, the scale of EVO is so vast and it's spread across so much space that it's actually hard to bump into everybody that you want to see. Like there's so many people there that went to the event that I wanted to see and hang out with and catch up with, but I didn't get a chance to see them because the event is just so massive. But it was cool. The people I saw, that was amazing. But yeah, I wanted to see everybody, but I think it's impossible,
You can, you know that classic of like you see someone day one and you don't really have time, so like, yeah, I'll see you around this weekend, and you never
Maybe
see them
not.
again.
No,
No
definitely
way. Not happening.
That's
No.
why I always do this at the event. If I see someone, I make a point to have like a solid
Like a
constant
photo.
time. Yeah, because you can't have, like, I saw on the first day, I saw Zeno, right, the Portuguese DNF and Strife player, and we were really talking, and I was like, yes, you're on this weekend. Lol, never seen that guy again. No idea how his weekend went, but you know, that's EVO. That was big. It had water.
Oh,
Yes.
This was awesome.
So the bill to have water at EVO
559.
was
Usually.
probably more than because they had water stations, right? The
Yeah,
bill
yeah.
to provide water
Yes.
for EVO was probably more than the budget of a lot of events in total. And I'm not even exaggerating.
yeah.
Well,
Like-
big shout out to Rick and the team because, bro, that's a
last time
big
round
step
it was
forward.
a meme. So
Yeah, it was good, and you know, like the fact it might be dumb because I remember like I had to explain to some people who wanted fighting games what's hype about like the water there, you know. But there were so many stations, like it never was like you have to wait to get water or anything. There was plenty of stuff. Rick, I mean, you know, that's Rick. Rick knows what we need as a community, and that's the one. You know, like to me, it was one of the MVPs. But event was great. It's freaking massive. It was also -1 million inside. You know, that's Sunday venue. TPK, you are in France, you are comfortable, but American
Yeah.
AC needs to stop, man.
come on, bro, you got to be used to it by now. You've been there enough times. You like everyone
Bro.
thinks, yeah, I'm going Vegas. I'm gonna pack for the pool party. No, bro.
No, I had my hoodie in the main
Yeah.
venue, and I had to put the hood on because you know I don't have a natural defense against the cold, right? Here, you know, so
You don't have natural defense. What a nice way.
it was cold, man.
You
Like
had
I
to
was
equip
next.
some gear because you
Had to
didn't have the natural you didn't have the racial. What's it? The passive racial traits.
Exactly. I did not. I was cold as hell, honestly. Like on the main
Yeah.
venue, that Sunday venue was there. It was funny because you can
Sick.
see who's never been to EVO, right? Because I was sitting next to Kills You, the French player, shorts and t-shirts, and I was like,
Oh,
we don't do that here.
Yeah, because you pull up the weather app
mistake.
and you see like 38 degrees C, and
Yeah.
like 40 plus, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going in a vest and shorts from the 1980s that are like this long. The Oil King specials. Credit to Oil King, he still wore those on stage, by the way. So he must have
Yeah.
been freezing to death.
that's probably why he didn't win because he was
Yeah.
getting attacked from all angles, you know, in the game and
I've
out.
seen people saying that's why I've seen all the players like, you know, like rubbing their hands and stuff. Yes, it is cold in there.
Yeah.
Also, I think the main venue was alright. Like it's more the Sunday venue that was, like difficult. But yeah, ton of fun. Honestly, like EVO being back is amazing. And of course, the week after EVO was Smash Con. Tyrant, you attended your first Smash tournament.
I did
Tell
attend
us.
it, but for me it
Oh,
wasn't
was it
really
first?
Smash Con. It was more like Marvel versus Capcom 2 Con. Like I spent when I wasn't shooting content or like hanging out with the team or whatever. I was definitely I was banging out the Marvel 2. But like they had a really good arcade there. It was really impressive, and like they had some really good players there. Like I was impressed. Like some of the guys that were playing Smash were coming back and forth to the arcade. They had like Street Fighter. They had a bunch of like other cabinets had like Tekken and like you know, one of those modded cabs that can like have multiple games.
Yeah.
As well as a dedicated Marvel cabinet. They had rhythm games. It was cool, man. It was like it was just like, you know, it's what you expect from these kind of events. It was just a celebration of video games. And they had all kinds of all kinds of sellers in the venue. It was cool, man. Like I don't know, I didn't know what to expect going into it. Like I heard it was the biggest Smash event of the year, or like, you know, the biggest one in general. And they had all the games there. They had like a dedicated room for the 64, all the melee stuff, like every single Smash game. But I think I actually expected it to be bigger, to be honest. Like when I arrived, I didn't know what kind of scale to expect. I know Smash viewership numbers and the following behind it is huge, right? So I know I didn't expect something of like, you know, of like an EVO level or something like that. But I think I was expecting something like maybe size of like a Combo Breaker or a CEO. But it was actually felt a lot smaller scale than that. I mean, there was a lot of people in the venue, but it felt very like packed in, you know what I mean? But it was an interesting experience for sure.
Yeah, your first one. Did you get to like watch some of the tournaments and stuff, or like that combo contest that actually looks mad fun?
The combo contest was amazing, bro. That was like it was probably my highlight because I used to play a ton of Smash 64 as a kid, so like I know how limited that game is. But watching some of the stuff that these guys were coming up with was just so impressive.
Yeah,
it was so cool, man. Like the guy that won it, Prince, as well. He's a really funny dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy, and he took the time to talk to us a bit. We had a interpreter there, which was really cool. But yeah, no, that was fun, man. I think I also got to watch some obviously very high level Smash Brothers. I used to play a little bit of that game when it came out. Like me and Pax used to like play a fair bit when we were doing the frame advantage stuff. And I got to watch the character that I play. I play a little bit of Rosalina, so I got to watch that at the highest level, obviously with the buzz. So, you know, regardless of what, you know, how much time I put into a video game, or like, you know, how much time I put into a character, I've always got time to stop what I'm doing and watch high level play of the character. You know, so like when I saw anytime he was playing on the main stage, I made sure to stop what I was doing and like, what is he doing that like, you know, you can do differently. But it was cool, man. So I definitely came away with a lot of extra information about how the game's played at a high level and stuff like that, and the scene. So it was pretty cool, actually. I can't lie.
Did you play the Smash?
I actually didn't. No, I didn't have a GameCube pad, right? I didn't bring one with me, so I wasn't about to buy one when I was there. You know. But I saw some people playing with different stuff, not just GameCube controllers. I saw people with the hitboxes, the Smash boxes. So that was pretty.
Are they legal?
Interesting. Yeah, man. Some do. They were
That's
putting
legal,
up with the converters and the big boxes. It was nice.
Is the Smash box legal, TPK? Like, you know.
Oh yeah, it is. It is actually, and that's actually that's good for your health. Actually, for your hands.
Yeah, loads of the guys get bad hand problems from the GameCube controller, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So they had to switch to Smashbox, and that was at first one solution for them. So yeah, it has to be legal at some point because. Well, if your hands hurt for some reason, you have to pick up this controller. And you know, conveniently, it's also a really good controller, like gameplay wise. So everything works.
So Smashbox is only buttons, right?
Yes, it's only buttons.
So how do you do tilts versus Smash?
Actually, you have to set things up in the game.
Macros like the
C buttons.
Yeah, the C-stick buttons. You can actually assign attacks and smashes to this or this button. I've never had a smash box with me, so I never tried it for myself. Sorry, but yeah, you can basically custom everything. So it is a really good solution.
Interesting, like, you know, more controller variety. Then what did you think of Smash Con, TPK? I guess you watched it all. So,
yeah.
You know, some of did you enjoy the whole event as a viewer?
Yeah. I did enjoy it. I was spending like quality time with friends in a great weekend, and we spent most of our nights just watching the Smash Con. So that was obviously, when you think of Smash Brothers majors, you like primarily think of Genesis, the Big House, and Super Smash Con. That's basically those three majors, those three tournaments that you have to watch if you are a Smash Bros fan. And this year that was hella stacked, like 4,000 attendees. 4,000. That's like 1,000 less than EVO. It's ridiculous if you think about this. So that was a hell of a tournament. Mango won Smash Con, despite the fact that he was ranked 11th in the world by Panda, and we were like, "Yo, does he really like deserve this rank?"
Why did they put him 11th to begin with? Was he not playing lately, or?
Yeah, he was, but actually mostly inconsistent results. This comes from the fact that, you know, he's kind of an all-in player. He loves to just gamble, and sometimes that makes him the best player in the world, and sometimes he just doesn't get to top 8, and this is where it disappoints. Plus, you can add the fact that we have so many new talented players such as Zane. We have IBW still winning like massive tournaments. Mook, actually, who was also one of Genesis 8 surprises. So yeah, it's becoming tougher to be in Melee's top 8s, despite, being one of the oldest fighting games that there is currently.
Not that
yeah,
Zayn, Nitro. Zayn, Z-A-I-N, right?
Not Zane from Dragon Ball Fighters.
Z-A-I-N. That's Zayn. Right? I think that's how you write the Smash.
But he's welcome, right? He can actually play Melee. If you can play Dragon Ball Fighters at this level, you can actually pick up Melee and do stuff. I do believe this. So that was for Melee, and for Smash Brothers Ultimate, obviously, which was the main event. We've witnessed the victory of a very controversial character, which is Steve, played by Onin, a 16-year-old player, very talented player from actually Quick Play. So this guy's been grinding on Wi-Fi like during lockdown. He showed at massive major tournaments, and he's like, yo, I can beat MK Leo and win 3 majors in a row. What the hell? And this guy's, he's impressive, man. So he won against Meister, the 2nd/3rd best Mexican player in the world. Still free agent, by the way. What a shame. But yeah, that was a hell of a tournament. As you say, Tyrant, Smash 64 combo contest. That's like, it's every year. It never disappoints, basically. It never disappoints. It's always great to see, always great to watch. If you have time, just, go to YouTube, Smash 64 combo contest, have a blast. You will not
We have a
regret
video
this.
coming on it as well, on Reversal.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure
on
you'll follow.
Reversal.
Oh, man, it's a really good one. It's
Yeah, and I've been told by Foster as well that the video is really good, and Tyrant confirmed, so I'm looking forward to it. Logan, how was your Smash Con experience, bro?
I want to know who's better out of A Cola and Onin, because they're both like under. Are they under 17? Like Acola's 15, right?
Yeah. Akola is 15, actually.
Yeah, he's 15.
Yes.
So he's doing exactly the same thing in Japan at the moment, right? Which
he is.
Is kind of, I guess, why people are calling for this ban, and we'll talk about that later on in the show.
Yeah.
But, it's pretty stark. How do these players deal with this attention? Because I know that Onin gets some pretty crappy stuff on social media from some parts of the community for the character.
Yeah. Well, obviously because of the character, you named it. Steve is actually a really very huge controversial topic, and since he's been taking names lately, and I'm mainly speaking of Onin. He beat MK Leo, he beat Meister, Gluttony in only one tournament, which is one of the best runs we've had so far. Everyone tends to think that it's because of the character and not because of the player. And this is it's really sad. It's really saddening everyone, especially me, because, we don't give enough credit to Onin's talent and Onin's dedication to the game, and we are mainly focusing on Steve being a good character, maybe too good to be true character. And this is why the scene is actually all messed up. Everybody wants to know, is it the character or the player that actually won Super Smash Con? I say it on Reversal, and I will say it every time, but Onin won Smash Con, not Steve. Steve is a hell of a character, yes. But please consider the fact that Onin's been just grinding and working his ass off just to get this trophy. And yeah, Onin
Isn't he the
deserves
only
it.
Steve in top 8 anyway?
No.
Yes.
He was the only one in top 8.
I
I saw a graphic that had the breakdown of the characters all used. Yeah. There was 9 Steves in top 64, but he's the only one that made top 8. So what is he doing differently? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
actually, I don't really know. I have yet to analyze all of his VODs, especially in the top 8, because it's so obscure to me. Steve is not a character that I would consider well analyzed for now. It's kind of a new character.
What
so
is
like,
it about the mechanics that Steve has that are
Oh.
making him so difficult to deal with? Because
Diamond.
obviously, yeah, like, can you explain that to us as well? Because, like,
Yeah.
obviously, to get results with so little competitive experience in and dominating results as well in both North America and Japan, both of the guys that are still kids are getting these results with this character. So what is it about the mechanic that really pushes this character over the top?
First of all, I'd say is his damage output, because basically Steve, like in Minecraft, can actually upgrade his tools. So, for example, you start with wood axe, wood pickaxe and stuff to end up with diamond tools. And those diamond tools are like fucked up completely because they deal a crazy amount of damage. It kills you like way too early, and I get it, right? He can actually force neutral. He dictates and he controls the pace of the neutral because he actually has to mine resources on the stage. But you have to actually get to Steve to prevent him from mining all those resources. But while you're doing so, he's just, setting up traps because he's basically, and at its core, a setup character. So setup characters are frustrating and overwhelming to face, right? Say Jacko, say Menat, all those crazy characters, they don't allow you to play your usual game. You have to adapt. You have to play differently. And this is where Steve thrives, and this is where this character is so damn strong because he basically doesn't care about your like normal and regular game plans. He wants you to play differently. And if you're not well prepared for this matchup, you'll get crushed, but like big time. And this is why MK Leo basically lost to Onin. He was ready, but he tweeted that he was not so ready and he played a bit poorly against Onin. And this could explain why he got crushed like 3-0. This is not a regular result against MK Leo. It's not supposed to happen, right? So yeah, frame data, damage output, dictates the pace of the neutral. You have everything for this character, basically.
I was talking to some of the Smash guys, and like I asked the same question that Logan asked. I was like, "What? Why is he so good?" And they were basically telling me that like he can use like setups and his tool set to essentially like protect himself while he gets diamond. And then once he gets diamond, he would just like kill you at like 50-60% with ease.
Yes.
So it's just like he's really, really crazy. And it seems like, a lot of people are not happy with this character. But we're going to talk about that a bit later on anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Let's talk about characters a bit later. As next one I want to talk about very quickly is versus fighting. This is where I am like right now. Birmingham this weekend. Versus fighting is back. The European majors are back, and yes, we're gonna have it's a power event for Dragon Ball fighters. It's a Tekken World Tour event for Tekken with over like 300 entrants on Tekken. It is an Arc Revo event for Strive. It's also the first Arc Revo for DNF Duel. It's like gonna be a ton of fun. Street Fighter 6 gonna be there. We're gonna be there. Reversal, this very channel, twitch.tv/reversalgg is going.
I didn't know Street Fighter 6 was going to be there.
Yeah, man.
Sorry?
4 setups.
Sick. Where's Matt going to be? We're going to have to.
But Matt is the one who's apparently one man armying.
Matt's going to be in the karaoke rooms.
Oh.
I'm going to be bullying Matt to let me play the jury build.
Yes, let's all
He's
three
not
of
gonna
us.
let you do that.
We're gonna do a triangle strategy. Yeah.
There's a karaoke room?
Oh, you don't know about the real highlights of Logan? What's Ming Moon?
Don't worry about it. If you don't know, I can't tell you.
You need to be told. You need to
The
be on
first
the
rule
bringing.
about karaoke club.
Let me tell everyone about the most legendary sessions in fighting games that I've been to, and I've been to a lot of tournaments. But versus fighting 20, I believe it was 2016 or 17, because it was SF5.
It was
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that wasn't the first one. Basically,
No.
What was the first one on 4 and 5 that we did?
yeah, so it was 4.
It was 4.
It was
Basically,
2016 because jury was just brand new in SF5. I remember that. So it would have had both.
No, we did it
SF4.
before. I've done it
Nah.
before. I've done it. I'm
the
telling you
first-
because I booked them all.
Oh,
but
the first one was us in a small room. It was like
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
you, Pax, Comps, and a few others. And then
Yeah, that was just us.
on the second night, we went to a bigger room. I think.
Yeah.
Same place. Yeah, that was the first one.
So
Pretty
here's the
sure
thing,
we
right?
did-
Like
I'm pretty sure we did SF4 because I remember being in a long
Yeah.
room and K-Brad was there.
Yeah.
we
On the
there
second
was
night, we
one
had
with
it,
K.
yeah.
But K-Brad was there for 5 for the first year of 5. He lost to Brian. I still remember him losing to Brian somehow. But essentially, very late at night in Birmingham, we all there looking for places to eat. And you guys need to know that in Birmingham there's this like long street with a lot of restaurants that are transformed into nightclubs after about 10:30 p.m. So if you get there at 11, they're like, "Oh, we don't serve food anymore. Now it's party time." So like, yeah, but I'm hungry. So we're all going and we find this massive like Asian food place. Like tables were free and stuff. We're like, "Can we eat here?" We sit down. The manager of the place like comes with us and sits down. It's like, "You know, we have karaoke rooms. If you guys would like karaoke rooms." And Logan looks at him and he's like, "Can we plug PS4s in the karaoke room?"
Yeah, we have like laptop in there, don't we?
And the manager was like, "Yeah, cool, no worries. Okay." So we book a karaoke room, we bring 2 setups, we get food ordered, food comes in, play some video games, and then Logan was like, "You know what, we make this tradition," and I end up like booking the big room with all of the
We had like
SF
4
girls.
setups in there with
Yep.
international players in there. It was really good fun. And it's actually like the only place you can order food and drinks.
Yeah.
Late. So,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you
So
get
you
like
get food. They
the good
bring
Chinese
the food
food.
in the room.
Yes.
You can karaoke if you want. Just make sure F Word never gets a mic ever in his life. But that's like about it.
My
Let
God.
the pe-
My God, the worst.
The worst? Really?
F word. F word. It's almost as bad as his accents. Almost.
What's worse to listen to, his singing or his snoring?
that might be tied. That might be tied. Shout out to F Word, man. I love you, bro. But you know, this was us. But yes, versus fighting.
Wait, is F word coming this weekend?
I
I
actually
don't think
know.
so, bro.
I don't think so because he's been very like busy lately. Hopefully, but don't
I
think
know he
so.
can come to Evo or like
yeah.
family stuff.
Yeah, but we will be streaming on Reversal GG. We'll be streaming all of SF5 and Dragon Ball on this very channel. So if you're interested in SF5 Dragon Ball, follow our channel. If you're interested in like all the other games, it's on twitch.tv/Electronic Dojo. Make sure you follow. We'll be there this weekend to have some fun. And of course, this weekend is an event. And whenever you win events, you're supposed to win money.
We're not going to do like a full preview of versus fighting because I've literally just
you
had a
want to
look
go
on the
for
Start
it?
GG and I was very happy to see the return of a certain man for Dragon Ball Fighters. That's quite exciting.
Okay,
He actually coming though.
Goichi signed up, but I don't know if he's going because Goichi was in the hospital last week for appendicitis, I think. So I actually don't know.
The Daigo
If he-
excuse.
Let's take a look at his latest tweets.
He was
If he's
bang on.
actually coming or
He
not.
was bang on attending as well though, because I actually asked him. I was speaking to him, and he said that he wanted to come over. He said he really wanted to play Mystic, in DNF, and he was telling me that he wants to eventually get back into Dragon Ball, but he doesn't know if he's going to do
Okay,
it right.
so he is going. Yeah, he just
is going.
tweeted. I'm checking his tweet. He said, "I'm going," but I think he signed up to Dragon Ball. I don't know if he's gonna play because his focus, he's heavy on DNF Duel, and he's there to take DNF Duel.
It's a
And I was-
qualifier for the World Tour, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. And the Arc Revo thing is only the winner qualifies. It's not a points circuit. So he wants to be there and like wins. Giuna was telling me there is no way anyone in the world beats Goichi at EVO. I was talking to Giuna. He was like, "You guys don't know about the Kusoge King."
The swiftest master.
It's gonna be interesting. Mystic Goichi Grand Finals, I guess, for DNF. Punk
That
is
would be
coming as
cool.
well. I've seen Punk in the brackets for multiple games. For Dragon Ball, we got Yasha Kane going. Wawa is not. Wawa is resting a bit.
Noka,
Noka, all of the UK.
some guy
Obi
called Obi
Assassin.
Assassin. Don't know who he
There,
is.
there's even Rudy in the bracket, bro.
Bro.
Man, like Rudy.
I mean,
Myth.
he-
Bruh.
The
has to
Dragon
sign
Ball
up.
bracket
He has to.
is actually a throwback bracket, bro. There's,
yeah.
there's Rudy.
I
There's
need to be
Raw
giving out.
Kids,
I need to
there's-
give out free Red Bull to everybody, and shout at people
Wow.
who aren't there for their
Is
bracket.
Gropis
Faisal
is
coming?
going from Spain. I haven't seen Faisal actually in the bracket.
Is
Plug is there.
Shuridan?
Shuridan
Shuridan's there, yeah.
Shuridan's there. It's literally throwback UK throwback Dragon Ball fighters.
Nice,
like
let's
all
go.
of the guys.
Is Jake going? Jake.
Yes.
Jake
Nice.
Yes.
He's
literally.
sick.
gonna be fun. Glowpiece is there from Spain. Street Fighter has most of the UK community. Tekken's massive because the Tekken World Tour, so everyone is there. For Tekken, DNF Duel as well, being a World Tour, and Strive as well. Strive, we're actually going to have the first proper EU Strive major, because I think the only missing person from the EMEA community for Strive are Slash and Smoib from Sweden, who are not going. Outside of these two, anyone you know on Strive in EMEA is in this tournament. Leffen, Latif, Mystic, Barry Bones, freaking Zando is there, like absolutely everyone. So it's going to be like the first real EMEA major for Strive. So I'm looking forward to see all of these events, man. Leffen being there as well. I want to see the Leffen Latif run back.
And then there's the Punk Invitational for Street Fighter 5, basically.
Yes. And
where are you all at? You, talking to you at home, why are none of you in this bracket? Where are you all?
No CPT, bro.
I agree. Like
Punk's
Street
there.
Fighter 5 is like, this is the thing I'm annoyed at Street Fighter 5, right? Like, it's a great game. We like that game, but it feels like if it's not a CPT, no one bothers going except from the people who are at the level where they're like
true.
almost top level, but not. So I look at this. No Problem X, no Infectious. Like no Phenom, no Mr. Crimson, no Luffy.
No French players at all.
No French players at all. And I'm like, it's kind of sad, man. Like it's
the last year of the game.
Yeah.
Innit?
Shout out to
the last year of the game.
Big up Jester. I'm excited to see Ending Walker playing offline.
Same.
That's the most exciting thing for me, because Ending Walker has won the last two Saltmine UK and Ireland World Warrior events back to back. And I'm looking forward to seeing Ending Walker playing offline. Punk's going to be there. We've got Soundboy. We've got Faster's come over as well. So that's exciting. Where's Muscle Noob? Where's Muscle Noob?
Yeah, I don't see Muscle Noob. But like plenty of UK, even like UK members are missing. And I think it's I don't know. I feel like this is a weird thing about Street Fighter, which is it feels like Street Fighter 5, unlike other games, doesn't have a full like competitive drive from the highest level. It feels like the highest level is only there for CPT, and if it's not CPT, the highest level players are not there. Look at Brussels Challenge, who won. Excellent player, right? Reichmann's Barnett was there. Girls against Verdoras. Excellent players, but they're not Mr. Crimson.
Wasn't it the same week as who's online? Was it? Someone's World Warrior was the same week. I think it might have been the Nordic Baltic. Can't recall.
Could be. Reichmann's won the CPT, so he's
I know.
good. Shout out to the new subs, guys. Grab your first badge. It's gonna be worth a ton. Shout out to all of you guys, of course, for joining. But yeah, it's weird, man. Like, that's my weird thing with SF5. I freaking love watching high level SF5, but kind of annoys me that like sometimes we talk to players and like, yo, this big event's coming. Is this CPT? No, then I'm not going. It's like, bro, the game exists.
And like realistically, those guys are not going to win either. Like some of them. So just go and play and practice and level up. You play the game 6 hours a day online. I see you. I see you there. So come show out in it. But it's all good. It's going to be exciting. There's plenty of decent players there still on show. Like big up Shiv, Soundboy, Bolt Strike, Jester, Jones. Ending Walker. As I said, Ending Walker. Really excited to see show out.
Highlight for sure.
I want to see him beat Punk.
I mean, you better be ready for Ed. I don't know how much high level Ed there is in the world. So
that's the one. What do you think, TPK, about the whole Street Fighter not getting?
I mixed feelings actually. You can arguably you can say that Street Fighter 5 is at its best level in terms of hype, in terms of gameplay. The game's fun. The game's fun to play, fun to watch, and with awesome storylines all over the place. Thing is that I wouldn't say it's always like this, but every time a new game is announced, for example, you take, I don't know, Tekken 8, we'll see how it goes, but Smash Ultimate, Street Fighter 6, like, I wouldn't say automatically, but like, there is a decrease in people's interest about the game, like, instantly, because they think, yo, see me on Street Fighter 6, see me on Smash Ultimate, so on and so forth. Plus, I believe that people are sick of the CPT being cancelled or poorly managed. So, it's the only time where Capcom seems to be confident in the way the CPT will actually unfold and have its finals, because that wasn't the case for the past 2 years. And yeah, on top of that, there is this PlayStation 4 issue, and I think that the Street Fighter V community is like the most aware of what it's like to play on PlayStation 4 versus what it's like to play on PC. So,
PS4 is kind of,
Yes.
you're right, like PS4
yeah.
is much more of a factor on like SF5.
yes, and
UFA is
you know,
on PC, by the way, come to UFA.
I speak with the French community, and they always say, "Why would I bother travel to this tournament when it's being ran on PlayStation 4? This is nonsense." And that can explain why the European community, as of now, is not traveling that much for Street Fighter V, especially these times. So yeah, mixed feelings and maybe different reasons to explain the
I think it's more of a UK thing, if I'm honest with you, because I feel like the French community are doing a lot better. The Barcelona events are seeing good numbers as well. I can't imagine UFA is not going to have a really good turnout. Like I can't see a reality where that happens. I think Mix Up will have a good turnout as well. Brussels Challenge had a decent turnout. I guess you could kind of say a similar thing about Brussels Challenge and not being on a tour or whatever, but you know, for me, I think the UK makes up such a big percentage of the top players in Street Fighter V that it's really notable. You saw it at EVO. You know, there was not a lot of UK representation at all at EVO for Street Fighter.
That's right.
And I think it's more of just like a UK thing than anything else, to be honest with you, at the moment. You know, I'm sure people are looking towards Street Fighter 6 and what have you, but just generally, there's always been this kind of drop off of players maybe accepting that they're not going to reach a level of like real contenders, and they kind of drift away and maybe try other things. We saw it in Street Fighter 4 as well. It's not like the first time this has happened. You know what I mean?
That's actually true.
Like I remember Ultra and trying to scramble people together, and guys just weren't on it and what have you.
I remember the last few weeks of locals, like bracket reset was so quiet. There was like, it ended up being like 10 man in the bracket.
Yeah.
You know, and before, you know, in its heyday, it'd get like 40, 50. It was buzzing. But yeah, man, towards the end of a game's lifespan, people just aren't on it because they realize, you know, well, I'm not going to, you know, be the world champion. So whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting, but you know, we'll see. I mean, more events are coming. You know, CPT is around, World Warriors, there's a lot of online, so we'll see. But obviously, tournaments are there. Maybe another reason for the people not going is the cash prizes, because we've talked about cash prize before. But
It's true.
It's time to talk some shit, right? Cash prizes in fighting games, they suck. Let's be real. I was watching.
They do.
I was watching not even a week ago. The Rocket League World Championships were there, and I was just taking a step back, right? Because I do a lot of Rocket League, and I've followed that game, like from a very small company who made a game to a like borderline tier 1 esports that it is today. And I'm like, 4 years ago, Rocket League's prize pool was like 250,000. Today, their prize pool is like 2.5 million. Why are we on fighting games still so behind? You know, like that's one of the things, because we have like the Liquipedia, so not confirmed, right? But the Liquipedia assumed numbers from EVO. A lot of people have talked about them, and they hurt, man. Like,
yeah, I feel like unless you really get some serious investment from somewhere, as long as FGC keeps this, you know, you pay your entry fee, you pay your tournament fee, it's an open bracket. I feel like unless that radically changes, this is going to be hard to change.
I'll tell you what needs to change, Tyrant. Like, the freaking developers need to wake up and put money in their game. There is no esport on the world that has money without the developers putting millions in it. Like, all of these are either developers putting millions or developers making some kind of crowdfunding work, right? If you look at Dota, the international, why is the international $15 million? Because they have skins in the game, and these skins are there. Why isn't Arxis making an EVO skin for Strive? You buy it, that's cash prize. Then it will be 100k for EVO easy.
Okay, so they did that for Mortal Kombat. I want to say Mortal Kombat 10. They did like skins that directly went, and they raised a lot of money through it. But
Capcom did it too.
What the
They did it for Street
companies?
Fighter
I mean,
too,
they did it for they do it for the Capcom Pro Tour,
Yeah.
Capcom Cup prize pool, and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Right.
Yeah.
But what those companies realize very quickly, sadly, is that skins that they sell that can go to prize pools, they can just sell those skins
That's true.
and keep the money.
Yeah.
And that's the sad reality of it. Rather than looking at esports as marketing in order to get people playing the games, because you know what the big difference is between Rocket League and Street Fighter? Because I think they came out similar times. How long's Rocket League been out for?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, okay. How much does it cost to get Rocket League?
I mean, today it's free to play. It used to be
Free to
20,
play,
20
yeah.
pounds.
Okay, so
when it came out,
the
it was 20
most
pounds. Yeah.
the most it's ever cost is £20, and now it's free to play. Right?
Yeah.
Street Fighter 5 on launch is an incomplete game that had no single player like content for it, and very
So bad.
questionable online functionality. Was $60 on launch, and it's still not free now.
Cringe.
Actually cringe.
Your player base, like you need an install base. Like fuck the player base, install base is what you need. We don't have enough players. Like we have the spectacle, we have the characters, like we have the quality of players as well. Like we have the storylines. You don't have the install base because you need people that are never, ever going to be competing at a high level, but they play the game enough to be interested in it in a more than casual level. And that is how you get money in. Now, unfortunately, we have to do things in the FGC for ourselves. And like I was on Rob TV's podcast yesterday, and we were talking about all the cool things that we can do to market and whatever. But it definitely comes back to the developers, as you said, Samad. They need to put the money in, and it does need to be crowdfunded. But like that happens ourselves at the moment with like the stuff that Bomb's doing. If you're a Dragon Ball Fighters player, the money that you're going to get from winning Bum's event is comparable to and more. I think didn't he win more for winning that than he won for EVO?
Wawa,
I think so.
Wawa won 7k on the first one and 9k on the second. So
Yeah, not
by themselves they were not
I think
more,
both
but the
of
two of them were.
I think both of
he
them.
made like
were
15k of both of them. So more than Evo.
Pull that number up again, because you had it on the screen. The prize
Can you go back to the price
balance
pools?
in from Wikipedia.
Yes.
All right, Dragon Ball Fighters total. That's the total prize pool.
Yeah, that's not even first.
That's not
No,
first
that's
place.
not first
so
place,
he's
no.
Oh,
pulling
it's total
at
price
most-
pool. That's not first place.
Yeah, he's pulling.
I'm
at most
crying.
60% of that. So we're looking at like
I'm crying.
About what he won for winning Heatwave. So
Yeah.
like, and this is big Evo that is sanctioned by Bandai
So
Namco.
here's the thing with Evo, right, and with big events, right. To me, the first unacceptable thing, because my point of focus is devs, right. To me, it's kind of unacceptable that something as big as Evo exists, and fighting games dev are like, yeah, do it, whatever. We'll come announce something. Maybe I'll give you like a little 5k on the side to help and stuff. I find it unacceptable that Evo as it is, which is to this day still like one of the biggest like open tournaments in person in the world, if not the biggest. I'm not entirely sure if it's still the biggest.
It must be.
But I think it's still the biggest, right? It's like the fact that Evo is in this situation and that all of these like collective fighting game developers, none of them think, yo, that's golden marketing opportunity. This is where we need to put our money. Instead, they're like, oh, cool. They're making Evo happen. You guys have fun. Maybe if you win Dragon Ball
Evo,
Fighters,
you
you're going to
spend
refund
all the money as
your
well,
trip.
by the way. Evo, you spend all the money on the production.
Yeah.
You take all of the risk on securing the Mandalay Bay Convention Center and the Miklov Ultra Arena and the hotel blocks.
Yeah.
And outlay high 7, possibly 8 figures to put this event on.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You take all that risk and we don't have to. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And that's my problem at the moment with a lot of these Pro Tour events, in that most of the risk is not taken by the developers. They're bolting on to pre-existing community events. And like, we know Jabali, we know Rick, like I know Walter, I know Justin, I know Abu, I know Flo. These are not multi-millionaires that have come in as whales to invest in events and be like, yeah, let's make some money. Look, they love their community, guys. They love the shit. They've built it up over 5-10 years. And the devs are just like, Yeah. Actually, you know what? We're going to hold it over your head that you might have to pay us.
Yeah, yeah, that's
license.
even worse. Yeah, that's even worse. Like the fact that all this effort is there, and the dev will end up being like, "How about you pay me money?" Like, bro, I'm literally doing your job for free. The players get nothing. People actually end up kind of riling up against the TOs, thinking the TOs put a ton of money in their pockets, thinking that like
I've
freaking
never
booking
seen
2
a
massive
TO
venues in the Mandalay Bay is not massively expensive.
I've never seen a TO wear a Rolex. I've never seen a TO
Exactly.
driving a European sports car. I've never seen any of it. Like never. Like so. Yes, admittedly, Sony bought EVO. They could have put more money in. Yes, that's definitely a thing. But the prize pool is commensurate with what because they only charge $10 by the way per game, which should be it should go up. It should be $20 to enter EVO tournament. Like then you're at least doubling the prize pool. Right?
Do you think we should charge the players for this?
Yes, I think $20 for EVO is reasonable for a tournament entry, considering the scale of it.
I mean, it is, but considering
And the quality.
EVO's sign up is venue fee is 100, Sunday fee is 100, like
yes, I think so. It's once a year. It's true, insane. Like the scope of what you get, and now they've got casuals as well. Yes, I think they should be charging $20, right? But I don't think that's where it should end.
Yeah,
because I think if you win EVO and you're not clearing 50k for winning EVO, something's wrong. Because you can't be in an arena that has seen some of the biggest boxing fights in history on a stage with a screen the size of a basketball court, with 5,000 to 10,000 people in that arena cheering you on, and coming home with something that's got 4 digits on it.
You're coming home with nothing. That's literally refunding your trip. Vegas is expensive as hell.
All right, we can talk about this. You talk about refunding your trip. I did the numbers, by the way, a couple of years ago, right? And I ran the numbers based on like the players that I know and average costs. Capcom Cup 2018 and 2019. Only the players that finished in the first 3 spots broke even for the year in terms of what it cost for them to go to events. If you factor in flights, hotels, entry fee.
That's mad.
So 29 of the best players in the world operated at a loss for their team over the course of the year.
Yeah, and why would team, people are, like TPK, you mentioned that earlier about Meister being free agent and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's be real. Why would sponsors invest in something that has not as many viewers as like bigger esports, make no money?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like
EVO hit like 150 for Street Fighter 5 top 8. I don't know what Strive.
in like total viewers, including restreams, it was 250 for SF5 top, and Tekken was right behind SF5.
Yeah.
Wow.
So SF5 was the most viewed one.
Man, get that for scrims, like in League.
Some people will literally like stream from their room and get like half of that.
Yeah, but I'd say that it doesn't have to do with the viewership and the amount of money that a player can get actually from tournaments, because there are so many storylines to write in those esports.
But you don't make money off storylines.
Yeah, but actually you don't make money at all in sports. So who bothers
storylines? Storylines are the only way you make money.
Yeah, but even with this, you don't make money in esports. It's like you have to know that it's basically either bankruptcy or injecting and investing money. I wouldn't say for nothing, but you're never going to find this money back. You're never going to have this money back. And if it's the case in League of Legends, it's the case in Counter-Strike, it's the case in Valorant, most of the teams are actually broke.
That's marketing, though. That's what that spend is. Whereas in the fighting game community, what I see is it's considered as sales. They think that these pro tours are going to make money through selling sponsors, through selling franchises for league operations, all of these things that don't happen. And they don't happen in any other major organized esports. They only use it as marketing. And they crowdfund on top of that, which we do not do. Like that.
No, we don't do that.
That pro tour hack or whatever, like it goes into a pool at the end of the season. Great, but like it's really it's so half-assed, and
Yeah, it just seems very thrown in.
it's like it's not really anything particularly special about it. You know, it's throughout the whole year, so there's no kind of urgency. You know, there's loads of things. Whereas I think they kind of got on a good. When they started doing the SFL team packs, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
SFL
like,
And I'm really
the
hoping
future.
we see more cool stuff happen in the next
proceeds,
generation.
does the money of the SFL team pack go to SFL?
Yeah, there's profit share, but I've heard the
Yeah.
profit share's not
Yeah,
fantastic.
the thing as well is they do profit share, but they're not transparent about the profit share, which kind of makes it like it's one of the things, right? You need to like pump the money in a way. A lot of the natural answer seems to be crowdfunding, but as much as I love Macherino, I use Macherino on my events all the time, right?
Yeah.
I have weekly events, I use Macherino. Thanks to them, every week my players get what, $50 when they. That's cool, that's not a lot,
Macherino
but-
makes people that are already making money more
Yeah.
money. That's what
Yeah.
Macherino does. Like,
the
and God bless
problem there
Macherino.
is-
Yeah,
yeah, the
there's a
problem there is
reason
with
why.
this- go for
Sorry,
it.
I'll let you finish. Sorry.
No, just like for me, the problem there is with Macherino is if I'm a fighting game fan watching EVO, why the hell should I give money to the winner? As a viewer, I'm literally doing a charity donation to the viewer.
Yeah.
That's why I would like a crowdfunding for the game, because that way, oh cool, I bought a costume. Oh cool, I bought Wawa's adult Gohan special color, and that money is gonna go to Wawa when he wins
Yeah.
Dragon Ball. Why would I, like, even though I donate to Macherino here and there and stuff. I love Macherino, but it's literally why would I give money to EVO? Like if myself, a random stream monster,
Yeah.
just
I
for the
totally
sake
agree
of
with that.
players making money, while I'm just it's just me being charitable. I don't get anything from it aside from
Yeah.
I'm cool.
And I'd say that more than this, it has to do with the way we actually create fighting games. Because we've always treated fighting games like we did like back in the days. It's like so all the way we do marketing, the way we organize the community, the way we sell DLCs, we sell games, what we put in those games. It's so old. And if you take a look at EVO, the only tournament which had like I wouldn't say decent cash prize because it was like all over, like it was incredible, right? I'm obviously
The 16th won more than the
talking about-
champions.
I'm obviously talking about Multiverses, right?
Multiverses, yeah.
Multiverses, $100K, right? Split, like I believe that was for top 32.
Yeah, I
Or-
actually like.
That
no,
pick was
it-
terrible, by the way.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
like-
if you made 25th, you got like $850. But then if you like won it, I think you got like what was it like?
You got like 10K for
10K,
10K,
yeah,
8K
yeah.
for seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it
split was really
literally
bad.
here's money, play our game.
Yeah,
have fun.
play the game. Here's money. And if you take a look at Multiverses, it's free to play. It's a game as a service. It's actually designed around the fact that this game is going to last forever, even though it's not. But like they have in mind that this game is going to last forever, and they are going to sell you skins. They are going to sell you music. You name it. And this is the modern way to conceive video games and to conceive esport titles, which was lacking in fighting games department. So I'd say that we are at the end of a cycle for Capcom, for Bandai Namco. Now we have Project L, like somewhere. It's like looming in the darkness somewhere, right? We have Project L, we have Multiverses. We don't actually know what Street Fighter 6 is going to be like. Is it going to be free to play? I highly doubt it. But is it going to have a free multiplayer game mode? Maybe with a, you have to pay for the single content as you would with Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4. But, we have to think about other ways to conceive those fighting games. And with that, we will actually have more money for the tournaments and for the cash prizes, and without actually involving the community. Because as you say, Damascus, I feel sorry for the community to actually pay more to have a decent cash prize. I'm like, no, it's not supposed to work like that. Like the community effort is supposed to be cherry on top, right? And for now, it seems like we are doing everything like ourselves, and this sucks. This plain sucks.
I feel like
go for it.
that fighting games are on the up though. Like I feel like now compared to like 10 years ago. There's a lot more of a highly regarded opinion on fighting games in our community, and I feel like things are going up. And with developers and companies like Warner Brothers, investing so much into the game, I feel like it's going to attract a lot more people. And in turn, I feel like 3, 4, 5 years down the line, we should have I feel like things will get better in terms of prize pools, but we just have to.
Yeah.
I want to be optimistic, but when you think about it, this year's EVO prize pool is the same as EVO 10 years ago's prize pool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
with the open bracket format, unless and from what I understand, EVO want to keep that. They don't want to.
No, I think open bracket.
I think you should keep that.
Stay.
Yeah.
Open bracket.
To be honest with you,
thing, right?
To be honest with you, that money shouldn't come from I think there should be more money paid for entry fees. I will double down on that. Like $10 is too few, but that money should be coming from sponsors and publishers that want to be involved in the experience that is EVO, and that's only going to come when there's more content made around EVO as an experience. Like EVO as a convention.
It's a convention, yeah.
You know what I mean? EVO as the Olympics of fighting games, because that's what it is, right? It's the Olympics of fighting games. And I think that, as the new team builds and grows the business side of it, because obviously it was very much in-house and a tight-knit team that didn't want to let go for a long, long time. And now there's a whole new raft of people involved in running EVO. I'm sure that will change, but we're not just talking about EVO. We're talking about all fighting games and all fighting game events. And it's like, yeah, we've seen that there are ways, and we're not talking like we don't need $100,000 prize for every major. Like, we're not talking that. We're talking numbers that are very, very obtainable, and it's been shown that they're obtainable because UFA's got 7.5 or 7,000 euros?
7,000.
Yeah, for SF5, and that's enough.
Yeah, UFA is going to be.
That's enough to make people go, you know what? I'm not missing that.
But that does not come from
I'm not going to win it.
Dev. Yeah.
It doesn't come from the dev. They've gone out and done it themselves, and I respect that very highly because it's the sort of money that you can get yourself. Like, it's possible, but you need the freedom to do that. And like that's hard. We know that's hard within the Pro Tour system as well. And there's a reason why UFA went from Premier to ranking. With the things that they wanted to do with the event and what you can't do with that restriction. So, like, for me, I definitely think that there's ways, there's multiple solutions to this problem, and they need to be applied differently to different cases. EVO's owned by Sony. Look, Sony could go, right, everyone's getting $100,000, and they wouldn't it wouldn't even touch the sides on their marketing budget, right? Easily, they could do if they wanted. But I think they probably want to make sure that it's a sustainable, profitable business first. But I'm pretty, I would bet my house that those prize pools are going up next year, if only for optics alone, because that's the only downside that I've seen people.
I mean, there should be SF6 as well next year, maybe.
Yeah, and that's the other thing as well. That's one upside, but also a downside in that when we turn over a new generation of games, the marketing budget gets renewed. We've all spoken to Capcom Europe about trying to do things, and they're like, well, marketing budget. My hands are tied. Street Fighter 6 drops, there'll be marketing budget all over the place. But what about after it drops? Because we want this to be esports, right? We want this.
That's
to
what
continue.
Sharon was saying. What happens when the dev doesn't put money anymore? Do we
They
stop
have
existing?
to. Yeah. They have to. They have to put money in.
It comes down to a game's lifespan as well, and how much content they're releasing. You know what I mean? How long are they planning on supporting it, and how long, will they continue to produce DLC that they want to make extra sales and stuff? It gets to a point where the game's done.
Well, that's why you can do things that don't burn that out, in the sense of what Samad pointed out with the compendiums and the general crowdsourcing that they do for League and
totally.
Dota 2. Doing clever, specific colorways and skins. It doesn't have to be a whole new costume. It can be a whole new costume. I don't think the development cost of making a costume is astronomical.
I swear colors are enough, Logan. You literally make an EVO color with freaking one EVO logo, and people will actually drop $8 a euro.
Basically, they do though. They do with the with
The
some of the
CPT
colors
pack,
you can get,
yeah.
and like you get the special colors and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't,
And
even, they don't
again-
even need. You know?
But yeah,
And
like
again,
I'll put money into that. I'll put money into skins if I know it's going to a
even
cool
even if
event
it's
that I
just the
wanna
color,
support.
because
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, I have the Evo color. Like I'm for real. I'm a guy who was like, you know, I was part of that Evo by getting something. It's
Talking
like,
of prize pools as well, by the way, Slash won that Saudi Arabian
Yes.
event, didn't he? That just happened against
Yes.
Latif in grand
Uh,
finals.
which was like 200K. But same
Yeah.
thing, right? It's like it shows that as a community, we depend on a whale randomly saying, "All right, I got money to splash."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for
But that's not
whatever,
sustainable.
You shouldn't
like,
have to rely on it.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
entities who make a ton of money for tax reasons need to spend a certain amount
Yeah.
of money until the end of the tax year.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
they do. Like that's why you have these random ass invitationals coming from stuff you've never heard from, and it's like
Yeah.
250K for like something you've never heard of, and there is literally no work on the communication side because they don't care about you watching it. All they care about is they had money to invest. They're like, let's just like make it work like this. Players
Yes.
are gonna be fun. Players had fun. You know, we had E-League at some point who was on SF5 and was like,
I just think
let's put a
that
ton of money.
the
you know,
the thing about fighting games is they're really fucking cool. Like
Mm.
the community of fighting games is really fucking cool. The people, the players, the people involved are way more interesting than the majority of esports that I see. The broadcast talent, the diversity, the different cultures, you know, the width of you know, races, creeds, genders, you know, everything that's involved is so much more vibrant and bright than
it is.
what I see in other esports. And we need to make more of that. We need to celebrate it first, a lot more than we do. And we need to celebrate how amazing these experiences are at live events. And by doing that, I don't want to be cynical, but if you celebrate what an incredible experience EVO is to be at, as someone who loves fighting games and is experiencing the best people in the world coming together to fight out to see who's the best on that day, you can sell that to a sponsor. And I have real strong belief that we will see that from EVO in the future. But I want to
agree.
see that from more and more and more people. I want to see the freedom for community organizers to do that, because the developers are leaning on these community organizers to make these events sustainable. Because let me tell you, if CEO and Combo Breaker go broke tomorrow and ECT goes broke tomorrow, there's not going to just be majors popping up of the same size to fill their space. They need them. The developers need them. So they need to make it so that it's sustainable for them to do these things to attract and grow. And again, the developers need to put more money in as well. They have to, because you need to create this aspirational ladder for people to get involved. And you know, when the women's England football team won the Euros, and all of the investment that women's football at that level got, it inspired thousands of little girls to go out and play football.
That's cool.
And that's what you get from investing in excellence and platforming excellence in that way. And I want to see more of that in fighting games.
Yeah, like I'd say that unfortunately for fighting games, and I totally agree with what you've said so far, thing is that the main revenue source is basically sponsorship. And if you take a look at what kind of sponsorship we can get in fighting games, it's really shady. It's really tough, because if you think of endemic sponsors, what can you get basically? Because fighting games is a console esport on a older generation. What can you get versus an esport that's on PC? Because you can actually sell keyboards, mouses, screens, you name it, a ton of things, compared to just fighting games where you can sell controllers, and that's it. I find it hard actually to make it bigger whilst it's just locked on consoles.
I don't think
wish
we should depend on
fighting games should
endemics
be.
anyway.
I'm sorry?
I don't think endemic sponsors are the answer. Like
No.
to me, the actual answer is not. You know what you said, Logan, about diversity of fighting games? This is exactly why we should go on non-endemic sponsors. Like, look at the the street culture in the FGC, how people dress, whatever the stuff. That's plenty of clothing brands that should be actually interested in
You
celebrating
see
that
all
stuff.
of the regions that get woefully overlooked, and I'm talking Middle East, Africa, and South America. All their events have the coolest sponsors
Yes.
because they don't have the same restrictions. Yeah, I went to Game Over in DR. They had Sprite sponsoring the event, which is huge. I'm gonna go to First Attack, and Mono gets KFC, and
Yes.
Pepsi and T-Mobile sponsoring the event. MQS Mexico had an event sponsored by Lucha Libre Wrestling Promo, and they have amazing sponsors that you think these are the sort of sponsors I should be seeing, not Street Fighter Duel. I should be seeing real sponsors because it's cool as fuck.
So
And I want to see more of that.
I'm just seeing right now, right? I go back to the example because that's the other game I work on, which is Rocket League. Every week you have a random brand on Rocket League. You have the kicking. You're gonna play the game, and there's Pizza Hut or Subway or random stuff into the game, and then you're gonna watch the way they do on Rocket League is a very standard, sports naming thing, which is every single time they have a tournament, it's named after a sponsor. Or this is the 7-Eleven Championship for this weekend, or here is the Domino's Showdown, or whatever names, the Ford something, and they get them. We're far from that.
Or even the Spanish community get that for their events. You remember they have Sonic Boom's, Sonic Boom sponsored by Domino's Pizza, and you see some of the Giants guys have sponsors on their jerseys and stuff, like Burger King and stuff. So they're out there. I guess we just have to, make it appealing for the sponsors.
Yeah, but I feel like the more endemic sponsors you'll get in a esport, the more non-endemic sponsor you'll get also. It seems that basically the non-endemic sponsors are way more confident to see that a community or an esport is big enough to attract those Sony, BenQ, etc. So this is why I feel like we should get more endemic sponsors, and to do that we have to actually switch to maybe PC or get really involved in the new console generation. I don't know, but I feel like we should get more of these.
I think it's a good thing, but relying on this is just making the bubble bigger. I mean, it's if you just have endemics into endemics, Astro sponsoring fighting games is not really, it's just a bubble that feeds itself, which is
true.
Which is about it. There are plenty, even the way, we sell events, there are plenty of ways to make, typically EVO, the fact that EVO could not, and it's not without trying, right, secure a water brand sponsor, despite all the talks about the water. That's how far we are from being sponsored, right? Because water was the first one. But obviously, cash prize and Infinite One. We still have one more topic, and it's getting late. So I want to talk about the next one. Tyrant, you're up.
Yes, so with the result of Smash Con Ultimate, of course, did have the young Steve player, Onin, taking it. And this is a character that was already very controversial in the community. A lot of people feel like it's a carry character and stuff like that. And there's legit talks of banning him now after that event. After he had a crazy run and he beat some of the best players in the world, and he's essentially an unranked, new player, essentially, I guess. Even though he's had some tournament victories, he came out and beat some of the best in the world. So there is talks of this character's stupid. We need to ban him as soon as possible. And this guy was getting nasty messages sent to him about it. Do you see some of this stuff? It's very toxic, the environment around it, and it just really shows how much people hate this character. So a lot of people talking about banning him, and we did see a ban earlier this year with Labcoat 21. I feel like this Steve and Labcoat bans are very, very different.
What's the saying on Steve? Because Curly's saying on the chat, right? Onin's Twitter is @bansteve, please.
Yeah.
So he's literally playing into this, but
he's trolling.
Should we ban Steve, TPK? Do you actually?
No, we should not ban Steve, please. And why should we not ban this character? Basically, because we don't know anything about this character. We don't know shit. It's amazing to see that since Onin won Super Smash Con, you have like tons of people on Twitter just spreading texts and solutions to this matchup. And I'm like, this is the way we as a community are going to solve this problem, solve this issue. We need to find how to fight this character, which is totally normal because Steve is basically a lockdown character. He got released during lockdown, and as you guys know, Smash Ultimate's netcode is kind of shitty. Now, Steve is a setup character, so during lockdown, no one bothered to just play against this character because, you know, we would say things like, we'll see when, you know, tournaments come back and we'll see offline what this character is all about. And meanwhile, Steve players were just grinding. There was just finding new stuff and adapting to the meta. We were not. So now that we have to fight those Steves in real brackets, right? In offline conditions, well, that's a major surprise for everyone because the character is really strong and can actually win super majors. And on top of that, can beat the best player in the world. So this is a massive threat for the meta, but not to the point that we should ban him. We should actually learn the character, talk with the players, and see what needs to be done in order to mitigate the character's impact on the meta. And yeah, that's how I feel right now.
My main argument as to why they should not ban Steve is because the game's done. There's no more patches. So you can't complain about banning a character when, first of all, he's not been out a great deal of time anyway. Second of all, you know, the devs are not going to change this character. That's it. You have to deal with it now. So deal with it. I feel like the lab coat ban was justified because Bandai Namco announced there was going to be a patch. So we knew
even without the
dealing with that
patch.
forever.
Even without the patch, I think like she fundamentally broke the game.
Yeah, she did.
So
she did for sure.
Even without
Like,
the patch, she should have been broken.
I agree.
Was there a top 8 with like 7 lab coats in it, right?
Yeah,
That's a very different situation
I was about
to like
say,
one Steve.
You can consider Steve being banned when I see when I see top 8 with 5 Steves and everyone plays Steve and there's no one like
Let me
remember
you,
Tekken when Leroy came out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
EVO Japan,
every top 8 had 7 Leroys.
2020. 7 Leroys, and they still didn't ban him. They just patched him a couple weeks later.
And there was a time with
Fakuram as well had the same on Tekken.
Yeah, Fakuram.
When he came out, every top 8 was 6 to 7 Fakuram.
And there was another one with in that season where Cammy was like unfair. She was like 6 Cammies in top 8, and like
Genjuro also.
Yeah, in Samsho,
Genjuro and Samsho in EVO
yeah.
2019. Now that I think of it. Sorry.
And then when you compare
Velma.
SmashCon, there's Velma. I mean, they patch quite quick in both versus. But remember SmashCon, right? That's Smash 4, where like top 8 had like
Sometimes
7
they do it
Bayonetta.
on purpose as well.
Yeah.
Because that's a character you should ban, because 7 Bayonetta in top 8 shows that the character is way too good for the game.
Meta Knight in the Smash Brawl.
Oh yeah, what a nightmare.
It's like Steve is. I mean, it feels like an overaction for me. Like I'm not massively into Smash. I just I root for Gluttony because I love that guy and stuff. But that's about it. And until I see like a top 8 with 6 Steves, I'm like,
it has to reduce the credibility of competition.
Yeah,
like it can't just be, oh, one guy's winning here, one guy's winning here. It needs to have a real negative impact. Man like Walter, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, brother.
The goats. Thank you so much.
It needs to really affect the integrity of competition, and one instance of that character is not enough.
No.
6 instances of that character in a top 16, which I think is actually the most that we saw for Cammy in any competition, is nowhere near enough.
I agree.
That's reason to patch and balance. A ban of a character is a very severe thing. Like,
and it's game breaking.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, and also, we are in an era now where, like, unless a game's super old, it's gonna get patched. also. So like
Eventually,
that changes the decision, I think, a bit.
But thing with Steve in particular is like Onin has basically won 3 majors like over the last weeks, including really big events. I believe that was CEO. He won CEO. He won now Super Smash Con. Akola in Japan is also taking names. So people are just saying that those players, they come out of nowhere and they win really huge events, even though we didn't know who they were before. And this is like the very beginning of this argument, right? Why are they winning? Why should they win? And this is, it all boils down to, should we ban the character or is the player really strong? And I feel like we have a new generation of players. If you take a look at Spargo, the second best player in the world, 16-year-old. If you take a look at Ruffalo, second best player in France, 16-year-old. Akola, 15-year-old. Well, we have a new generation of players, and I feel like the Smash community is not prepared for that. It's not ready, and it seems astonishing for everyone to see youngsters just win those amazing events. And if they win such a big event, they immediately blame the character. And I'm like, can you just admit that the player is too damn strong, please? Because that's the case.
I just pulled up Acola's results. Would you like to know Acola's results for this year, 2022?
New wins?
Akola has not finished first in 4 tournaments in
Yes.
2022.
Yes.
He has won 17 tournaments this year.
Wow.
He has not finished lower than 4th in any tournament since
That's mad.
May 2021.
Yeah.
And is there any other Steve in Japan that remotely compares to this in results?
In terms of result, not really.
Yeah.
There is a.
So it's not the character. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
it just proves, like, if no one else is
Definitely
able
not.
to be remotely as consistent as this.
And on top of that, I'd say that Onin, because basically everyone was saying, we don't know Onin, where the hell does he come from? Why is he winning so much? And if you take a look at his results, his past results, he's mainly a Wi-Fi warrior. And even online, he's been winning like tons of events online with
I think-
Joker.
If you look at Onin's results, you can see a very steady climb from 2021.
Yes.
Like, it's very clear that Onin has improved consistently over that time, because at the start of this year, we're looking at 17th, 25th, 33rd. And then in May, that's when the top 8 start coming in. And then in June is when the wins start coming in. And as you said, won 3 majors back to back since then. But I think it's just a coincidence. You happen to have 2 incredible, prodigious talents at the same time that are playing characters which, understandably, at that age, probably have a lot of significance to them as well, like at 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is why I think that Steve should not be banned by any mean. If you think so, well, you should get back to the drawing board, because you have lots of work
Outside of
to
Steve,
do.
though, like, so Steve is the one, right? Like, the argument. Like, the argument saying about Onin, like, the Guilty Gear community had the same with Umisho, who just won EVO, because when
Yes.
Umisho, like, Umisho is a former Overwatch player, now ridiculous on Strive, which was exclusively online, destroying everyone with Happy Chaos, which is seen as a dumb character, which is. Happy Chaos is dumb. Like, no one will.
Yes.
I mean, Happy
But
Chaos
it's
was
Strive.
worse before, right?
Yeah, he was worse before, but he's still extremely dumb. It's Strive. There are plenty of dumb characters.
Really dumb.
But we're gonna have, like, we have Umisho, who just won the EVO, and people before are like, oh, that's just an online player just winning because of Happy Chaos, whatever. But then Umisho gets like grand finals at Combo Breaker, wins EVO, wins pretty much like absolutely everything online. And yeah, in America there is one more Happy Chaos, that's Lost Soul. He's an excellent player, but Lost Soul gets 9th. Like, he's not top 8. He got top 8 at Combo Breaker. He did not get top 8 at EVO. He was not top 8 at. I don't think he was at CEO. So CEO is not one to keep. Like that's the thing. When you compare to Lab Coat, where literally Combo Breaker's top 8 was like, it
Only
was
Lab
literally
Coats.
7 players who play Lab Coat and one
Yeah.
player who knows he should play Lab Coat but hates her so much he refused to play her. That's Yasha.
Yes.
Like literally,
Yeah.
Yasha, you talk to him at this point, he's like, I know I should play Lab Coat, but I hate this character so much I can't play her. So it's not a competitive choice.
It's a
literally
protest.
an emotional choice from him. If he was simply like cold and logical like Wawa is, he would have picked Lab Coat as well. It would have been 8. That's game breaking.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and still, you can actually have more Nagoriyuki and Leo in most of the top 8s than you can have Happy Chaos.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
surprising because most of Guilty Gear Strive players would say that Happy Chaos is the number 1 character in the game, myself included. And
That's, I mean, that's the thing that
Even
always
though-
has been the case in fighting games. Like as a Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 4 player as well. Like there was been loads of times when
Yun.
characters
Yes.
like Yun wasn't all over the place.
AE
you know,
Yun was one.
Bro, everyone played Yun. Don't try
AE
it.
had
not
Yun
in,
and
not
Yang
in,
in
com-
every top
not, in,
8.
not in competition. Like you didn't see every pro player being like, you know what, switching. Fuck
It was
But 3 to
basically
3 to 4
they
per
did.
top 8.
no.
Like,
who?
Yes. Yes. 3 to 4 per top 8.
Daigo,
when Daigo
Ryan.
switches to character,
Ryan,
Brian Hart was Yun.
Justin.
Yeah.
Pretty sure was using him at some
Justin
point.
still
Like,
used Rufus, man.
I think all of them tried him though.
You didn't. Yeah, everyone tried, but like it's like when Abel, like Street Fighter 4 came out, everyone had an Abel, but no one wanted to use them. Like people are stubborn like that in fighting games. It's very rare that a character has to be super, and that's the problem with characters like Labcoat. The character was so busted that you had to play the character.
Yes.
Like in
Mandatory.
situations where like Yun's clearly top tier or like Luke clearly top tier before patch and probably still now on PC actually. Like they are busted, but they're not busted to the point that if you're not picking them, you're basically not competing. And I think when a character is that strong that if you're not using them, you're not competing.
Yeah,
That's
it's
when they need to get
polarizing.
that.
Nah, that version with Yun and Yang was too much. I couldn't deal with that. That was too much.
But who was winning tournaments then? Because it weren't Yun and Yang.
It was okay. Fei Long. That was the yeah. It was
Seth?
those three.
Seth
he
was
Seth,
ridiculous
yeah.
as
I
well.
think that was the version where Seth got nerfed though. You know, the first version of
But
Arcade
the
Edition.
first AE.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Seth got nerfed in that one because they took away his like cross up and his stretchy arms and stuff.
He still was insane.
Yeah, he
like,
was.
he-
And
he
in
surfed
2012
just
they
insane,
buffed him back to
But then
greatness.
even on fighting games, you also have the thing where sometimes there is a character that clearly
They're
is top but
favourites as
doesn't
well.
win anyway. Like Strife has this example.
Chun-Li
Every
didn't win
single
anything.
person on Strife.
Season 1.
Chun-Li won.
barely won anything season
I mean,
1.
every,
no, we
every
were
top
talking
8
about
had
this, yeah.
every top 8 had 4 Chun-Lis first.
Yeah, but they barely
you
won
know?
anything as well, so it's
Yeah.
a similar thing. Like,
Yeah, but that,
I think,
that's
the
still,
only, I think the only ones who won were like CCL and
MOV.
MOV. That's it.
CCL
Yeah.
and MOV were the 2 ones to go for wins. But even then, sometimes you have like strong characters. Like Strife has this example right now. You ask anyone who remotely knows Strife who is in top 2, they will say Ram Lethal.
Ram
You watch
Lethal.
EVO, there is
And
no
yet-
Ram in top 8. You watch CEO, there is 1 Ram in top 8. You're like,
Yeah.
players still refuse to pick her,
Yeah.
despite the fact that she does everything better than others.
and that's
Yeah,
kind of what I'm trying to say. Like, we have that in general across the fight. And it's not like a hard, fast rule, because clearly people will switch. We saw a bunch of people switch to Cammy, saw a bunch of people switch to Karen, Luke. We saw a bunch of people switch to Yun. Yes, we saw a bunch of people switch. But that is still prevalent in fighting games where, because I mean, and we can go back to our last point, because the money is not that enormous,
Yeah.
where like you're missing out on life-changing money by not playing these characters.
Yeah.
People are still like picking with their heart rather than their mind.
Yeah.
a lot of
You've
the
also
times.
you've also got to remember that the more strong or the more prevalent a character is within the game, you're going to be getting a lot more matchup experience against these specific characters online. There's going to be a lot more tech discovered because those are the characters that are visible. Those are the ones that essentially have the big target on their chest saying, learn how to fight me, otherwise you're not winning tournaments.
Yeah.
So a lot more people are going to come with strategies prepared to fight against the top tiers. And that could
Yeah.
be why we don't see a lot of them actually winning the events. We see a lot of them go far, yeah, and we see a lot of crazy stuff from them, but they rarely seem to be winning, at least early on in a game's lifespan. You know what I mean?
It's all for the like fighting games have this thing where people really identify the characters and like obviously the money not being life changing is the thing, but even then there's been a Capcom Cup of 250,000 where a player who mains Fang will still main Fang Xian main Fang in season 1, despite Fang
Yes.
being absolutely butt cheeks in season 1, despite Capcom Cup having like freaking $200,000 on this, he was still like, I'm still gonna make like go for this because I'm stubborn and I want to be cool and I want to play this character because he's cool. Like it's literally the thing. Like fighting game players are stubborn on who they pick, and that's when you know where you can ban someone because like a character is so good that all of this like stubborn side of the FGC disappears. Leroy on Tekken, Labcoat on freaking Dragon Ball. Whenever this exists, you ban. When it's not that clear cut, you need to give some leeway, and of course stop like talking crap about the player because some people are like, oh, only wins because Umisho wins because Happy Chaos. Where's your Happy Chaos then? Like,
Yeah, yes, that's what we were talking
Yes.
about at Smash Con as well. It's like everyone's so pissed off at Steve. Pick Steve, bro. Why don't you win?
Yeah,
Why don't you
pick
pick Steve and
Steve.
win the fucking tournament?
Yeah, that was unbearable. And even now on Twitter, like you can see people just posting messages such as he only wins because of Steve. Well, then go ahead. Pick Steve.
The character's there to be played, bro. You're trying to tell me if I'm playing Marvel.
Go ahead.
Man says, don't pick the Sentinel in Marvel 2. Don't pick Virgil in
Yeah,
Marvel
no Virgil.
3. It's like, what? No, I'm going to play the characters that I think are cool and do well. So screw it,
Yeah.
I'm going to win.
Exactly.
yeah, even in games where they're very clear top 8, like top characters, like Third Strike, you still have some players who are like, I'm gonna be a Remy player. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's
That kind of happens more as the
Hello.
game goes on. Like you look at
Yeah.
MVC 2 now, at EVO,
Yeah.
wicked character variety. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, you're getting wiped by man playing Samfrax and like you're just getting. It's not a
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
a game. Like, and now you've got salarymen that will play Third Strike 5 hours a day still today, turning up at oh my god, I forgot the name of the event. That is disgraceful of me. Oh, what's the 3v3 Third Strike event in Japan? Oh,
Togeki.
no.
SBO.
No.
Oh, Co-op
No.
Cup.
Yes,
Corporation
Co-op
Cup,
Cup.
Corporation Cup.
Sensational. And you'll get man turning up with Alex and Remy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
battering people because they play the game hard.
Yeah.
And you're going up against like MOV and Nuki in 2020 that look at the game every now and then and can still hit confirm Chun-Li, throw option select and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like it starts to open up in those senses, and obviously new tech develops and blah blah blah. But I think generally, like, look, like Tyrant, you love Street Fighter 4, yeah, but you know, you see man that are still playing Street Fighter 4 now. They haven't really elevated their game from back then, but
Nah.
they're doing bits now because the competition's a little bit different. But yeah, I just think that like you get into a situation here where you have to just acknowledge that in games that are fucked, and I'm talking specifically versus games, and Dragon Ball comes into this, and this is why Lab Coat was a big problem. It's way more oppressive, so there's way less room to like use player skill to get out of things because they're so oppressive.
Bro,
Like-
three top tiers versus 2 low tiers and 1 top tier is like almost impossible to win. like I was playing some matches, Marvel 2 matches against some of the strong players at Smash Con, and my team is I played Jill, Bison, Sentinel, and the dude I was playing Cable, Sentinel, Captain Commando, and you better believe I was losing a lot of games to this guy.
Yeah.
You know, because it's 3 mad strong characters. You know, it's hard. So it comes down to you can there's no limitations in versus game. There's no like there's no like point ratio system. You can literally pick 3 of the best characters in the game and you'll be whooping, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other thing that I see a lot online, and because like I'm like heavy into competitive Warhammer, so there's a very similar discourse about that, right? Because you have so much control over what you bring to the tabletop in terms of your army selection, in the same way that you have complete control over which character you choose to come to the tournament in fighting games. A lot of people are very content to like righteously lose rather than do what it takes to win. Like they'd rather lose by a little bit and like righteously lose and then go and gas themselves up about it. Well, you know, you only beat me because of X, Y, and Z. Like your character's better than mine, kind of thing. Than really go in and try and compete. And I see it across the board in all kinds of different competitive endeavors where you have this kind of match-up meta game roundabout where it's like there's some weird sense of pride in choosing to. It's like they choose to lose, but you don't really like. You'd have probably lost anyway, but like it's like an excuse. It's like a built-in excuse to lose.
Yeah. I feel like there's that kind of fall back on that. It's a bit like, I guess like Alex in previous seasons was a little bit like that. You know what I mean? In Street Fighter 5, like a lot of people be like, yeah, I lost, but you know, I play Alex, so
it's
you know,
always
at least I did some cool combos.
You can be
like,
the people's champion. Like, it's quite easy to be the people's champion. If Onin reached just top 8, but with Yoshi, he would be a hero.
Yeah,
like,
he would be.
You know,
hero.
even if he was 7th, he would be a hero because he with freaking Yoshi, but he won.
Or even if he was only making 7th with Steve, because it's not like there's 5 other Steves swamping the top 8. It'd be like, cool. This teenage boy is showing up with this Minecraft character and making this is really cool. I really support this kid. Like, that's great. Go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really happy to see you. And also, you're not winning, so it's fine. But you're getting results, and we'll back you. But like now he's winning everything, and it's the same with Icola. Now they're winning everything. It's very different.
Yeah, winning is always, but yeah, always an endless debate, but always good to talk characters. I'm looking forward to see how many Swiftmasters in top 8 of that DNF duel.
Bruh.
But that's about
Swiftmaster
all.
and Hitman.
That's all we have time for today.
dang
Time
it.
overrun because that was a lot of fun. But of course, a big thank you for everyone for joining us today. We got, of course, Logan, Tyrant, and man like TPK as well.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
joining
very
us,
much.
TPK, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. That was had a blast actually.
It's
cool.
been a lot of fun. And you can expect the ROUNDUP EX to be there every single Wednesday at this time of the day. It's 11:30 p.m. European time. So that way you guys in America and you guys in Europe can all like be there to watch it. It's a late out watch in Europe or an afternoon watch in America. We talk to everyone. Shout out to everyone, of course, for joining us. Today. Much love to all of you guys. We will be back on this very channel in 3 days on Saturday for the Street Fighter 5 and Dragon Ball Fighters tournament.
Is there anything happening on Friday?
Versus fighting. Nothing planned on Friday. I would like to see if we can stream some fun.
Couple of cans, yeah.
You know, but otherwise, you know, it's gonna be fun times. What's happening on Friday is I'm gonna try to get to Birmingham with a train strike in the UK.
Oh man, that's the tough matchup.
I'm not going up until Saturday morning in my car because I'm going out for Alex Jabali's birthday dinner.
Nice. Well, listen, Logan. If I completely get
See you at
destroyed on
CEO
Friday,
2023.
Illuminati.
Illuminati. Yes. If I happen to not have a train Friday, I might jump in your car if you have space. You know.
Oh, bro.
I might choose the Logan OS.
I'll let you be in the boot.
I'd be in the boots.
Nah, let him have the orcs. Play with the finest anime intro themes. Let's go.
Absolutely not.
I will put all of your favorite JoJo openings. Don't worry. That's about it. Thank you, guys. We will see you at Versus Fighting this weekend. Of course, hit that follow button, hit that sub button. You can still get the founder badge right now. It's not for a long time, so get this one because you know this channel is going places and you want to be out there. I appreciate the support, of course, for everyone. See you guys this weekend for Versus Fighting, and of course for today. Have a good night, guys. And yeah, don't ban Steve yet. I think he's all right. Let's see for the next one. See you at VSF, guys.
Later.